Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A device designed to prevent injury or accidents. The duty of serving as a sentry. He was on guard that night. A precautionary measure warding off impending danger or damage or injury, etc. An insurance policy as a good safeguard. Watch over or shield from danger or harm, protect. Guard my possessions while I'm away. Protect against a challenge or attack. American football. A position on the line of scrimmage. Guards must be good blockers. A military unit serving to protect some place or person. A person who keeps watch over something or someone. A position on a basketball team. A posture of defense in boxing or fencing. Keep your guard up. Take precautions in order to avoid some unwanted consequence. Guard against becoming too friendly with the staff. The person who plays that position on a football team. The left guard was injured on the play. The person who plays the position of guard on a basketball team. To keep watch over. There would be men guarding the horses. A device designed to prevent injury or accidents. A safe place. He ran to safety. Baseball. The successful act of striking a baseball in such a way that the batter reaches base safely. Contraceptive device consisting of a sheath of thin rubber or latex that is worn over the penis during intercourse. A score in American football. A player is tackled behind his own goal line. The state of being certain that adverse effects will not be caused by some agent under defined conditions. Ensure the safety of the children. A device designed to prevent injury or accidents. The duty of serving as a sentry. The duty of serving as a sentry. The duty of serving as a sentry. A precautionary measure warding off impending danger or damage or injury, etc. He put an ice pack on the injury as a precaution. Judiciousness in avoiding harm or danger. The trait of practicing caution in advance. A precautionary measure warding off impending danger or damage or injury, etc. An insurance policy as a good safeguard. A document or escort providing safe passage through a region, especially in time of war. Escort safely. Make safe. Watch over or shield from danger or harm, protect. English economist and conservationist, 1914 to 1981. A division of a prison, usually consisting of several cells. English writer of novels who was an active opponent of the women's suffrage movement, 1851 to 1920. United States businessman who in 1872 established a successful mail-order business, 1843 to 1913. Block forming a division of a hospital, or a suite of rooms, shared by patients who need a similar kind of care. They put her in a 4-bed ward. A district into which a city or town is divided for the purpose of administration and elections. A person who is under the protection or in the custody of another. Argue or speak in defense of. State or assert. Protect against a challenge or attack. Be the defense counsel for someone in a trial. Ms. Smith will represent the defendant. Protect or fight for as a champion. Fight against or resist strongly. Be on the defensive. Act against an attack. Be capable of holding or containing. The flask holds 1 gallon. Be pertinent or relevant or applicable. This theory holds for all irrational numbers. Have or possess, either in a concrete or an abstract sense. She holds a master's degree from Harvard. Be the physical support of, carry the weight of. The beam holds up the roof. Resist or confront with resistance. A state of being confined, usually for a short time. The prisoner is on hold. Lessen the intensity of, temper, hold in restraint, hold or keep within limits. Hold your tongue. Drink alcohol without showing ill effects. He can hold his liquor. Cause to stop. Have room for, hold without crowding. The auditorium can't hold more than 500 people. Time during which some action is awaited. He ordered a hold in the action. Have or hold in one's hands or grip. A crazy idea took hold of him. Organize or be responsible for. Hold a reception. The appendage to an object that is designed to be held in order to use or move it. Be valid, applicable, or true. This theory still holds. Protect against a challenge or attack. Maintain, a theory, thoughts, or feelings. To close within bounds, or otherwise limit or deprive of free movement. This holds the local until the express passengers change trains. Keep in mind or convey as a conviction or view. Hold these truths to be self-evident. The space in a ship or aircraft for storing cargo. Have rightfully, of rights, titles, and offices. Contain or hold, have within. The canteen holds fresh water. Bind by an obligation, cause to be indebted. I'll hold you by your promise. A cell in a jail or prison. Be in accord, be in agreement. I hold with those who say life is sacred. The act of grasping. She kept a firm hold on the railing. Secure and keep for possible future use or application. Cause to continue in a certain state, position, or activity. E.g., keep clean. Hold in place. Support or hold in a certain manner. She holds her head high. Declare to be. Understanding of the nature or meaning or quality or magnitude of something. Arrange for and reserve something for someone else in advance. Please hold a table at Maxim's. Aim, point, or direct. Assert or affirm. Rousseau's philosophy holds that people are inherently good. A stronghold. Cover as for protection against noise or smell. Hold one's nose. Have as a major characteristic. The novel holds many surprises. Hold the attention of. She can hold an audience spellbound. Keep from departing. Keep from exhaling or expelling. Hold your breath. Power by which something or someone is affected or dominated. He has a hold over them. Remain committed to. I hold to these ideas. Remain in a certain state, position, or condition. Stop dealing with. Hold all calls to the president's office while he is in a meeting. Take and maintain control over, often by violent means. Any clever maneuver. He would stoop to any device to win a point. An emblematic design, especially in heraldry. He was recognized by the device on his shield. An instrumentality invented for a particular purpose. The device is small enough to wear on your wrist. Any ornamental pattern or design, as in embroidery. Something in an artistic work designed to achieve a particular effect. A duty that you are assigned to perform, especially in the armed forces. The act of distributing something to designated places or persons. The first task is the assignment of an address to each datum. The act of putting a person into a non-elective position. Law. A transfer of property by deed of conveyance. An undertaking that you have been assigned to do, as by an instructor. The instrument by which a claim or right or interest or property is transferred from one person to another. A duty that you are assigned to perform, especially in the armed forces. A statute in draft before it becomes law. How much there is or how many there are of something that you can quantify. A basis for comparison. A reference point against which other things can be evaluated. They set the measure for all subsequent work. Any maneuver made as part of progress toward a goal. The situation called for strong measures. Determine the measurements of something or somebody, take measurements of. The act or process of assigning numbers to phenomena according to a rule. The measurements were carefully done. Express as a number or measure or quantity. Prosody. The accent in a metrical foot of verse. Measuring instrument having a sequence of marks at regular intervals. Used as a reference in making measurements. Musical notation for a repeating pattern of musical beats. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. A container of some standard capacity that is used to obtain fixed amounts of a substance. Have certain dimensions. This table surfaces measures 20 inches by 36 inches. Treat badly. She is always stepping on others to get ahead. Any maneuver made as part of progress toward a goal. The police took steps to reduce crime. A short distance. It's only a step to the drugstore. A sequence of foot movements that make up a particular dance. He taught them the waltz step. Relative position in a graded series. Always a step behind. A musical interval of 2 semitones. A mark of a foot or shoe on a surface. Measure distances by pacing. Step off 10 yards. The sound of a step of someone walking. He heard footsteps on the porch. Support consisting of a place to rest the foot while ascending or descending a stairway. He paused on the bottom step. Put down or press the foot. Place the foot. Step on the brake. the distance covered by a step. He stepped off 10 paces from the old tree and began to dig. A solid block joined to the beams in which the heel of a ship's mast or capstan is fixed. Cuz. A computer, to execute a single command. Furnish with steps. The architect wants to step the terrace. Move or proceed as if by steps into a new situation. She stepped into a life of luxury. Move with one's feet in a specific manner. Step lively. Place, a ship's mast, in its step. Shift or move by taking a step. Step back. The act of changing location by raising the foot and setting it down. He walked with unsteady steps. Walk a short distance to a specified place or in a specified manner. Step over to the blackboard. Shield from danger, injury, destruction, or damage. Weatherbeater protects your roof from the rain. Use tariffs to favor domestic industry. A person who installs or repairs electrical or telephone lines. American football. The position of a player on a football team who is stationed on the line of scrimmage. One of the players on the line of scrimmage. The surveyor who marks positions with a range pole. A unit that is part of some military service. A unit that is part of some military service. A unit that is part of some military service. Of a law, having legal validity. Group of people willing to obey orders. A public force is necessary to give security to the rights of citizens. Physical energy or intensity. He hit with all the force he could muster. A put-out of a base runner who is required to run. The put-out is accomplished by holding the ball while touching the base to which the runner must advance before the runner reaches that base. The shortstop got the runner at second on a force. To cause to do through pressure or necessity, by physical, moral or intellectual means. She forced him to take a job in the city. Force into or from an action or state, either physically or metaphorically. Urge or force, a person, to an action, constrain or motivate. Move with force. Impose urgently, importunately, or inexorably. She forced her diet fads on him. Squeeze like a wedge into a tight space. A unit that is part of some military service. He sent Caesar a force of 6,000 men. One possessing or exercising power or influence or authority. May the force be with you. An act of aggression, as one against a person who resists. He may accomplish by craft in the long run what he cannot do by force and violence in the short one. Take by force. A group of people having the power of effective action. He joined forces with a band of adventurers. A powerful effect or influence. The force of his eloquence easily persuaded them. Do forcibly, exert force. Don't force it. Physics, the influence that produces a change in a physical quantity. Force equals mass times acceleration. A person who cares for persons or property. A person who cares for persons or property. A fighter who holds out against attack. A person who cares for persons or property. A person who cares for persons or property. A condition or position in which you find yourself. The unpleasant situation, or position, of having to choose between two evils. A job in an organization. The spatial property of a place where or way in which something is situated. The position of the hands on the clock. The particular portion of space occupied by something. A rationalized mental attitude. An opinion that is held in opposition to another in an argument or dispute. A way of regarding situations or topics, etc. The arrangement of the body and its limbs. The relative position or standing of things or especially persons in a society. Atheists do not enjoy a favorable position in American life. A point occupied by troops for tactical reasons. Put into a certain place or abstract location. The act of putting something in a certain place. An item on a list or in a sequence. Moved from third to fifth position. The post or function properly or customarily occupied or served by another. Cause to be in an appropriate place, state, or relation. In team sports, the role assigned to an individual player. What position does he play? The act of positing, an assumption taken as a postulate or axiom. The appropriate or customary location. The cars were in position. The arrangement of the body and its limbs. He assumed an attitude of surrender. A complex mental state involving beliefs and feelings and values and dispositions to act in certain ways. He had the attitude that work was fun. A theatrical pose created for effect. The actor struck just the right attitude. Position of aircraft or spacecraft relative to a frame of reference, the horizon or direction of motion. Characteristic way of bearing one's body. Stood with good posture. Capability in terms of personnel and materiel that affect the capacity to fight a war. Politicians have neglected our military posture. A rationalized mental attitude. The arrangement of the body and its limbs. Assume a posture as for artistic purposes. Behave affectedly or unnaturally in order to impress others. She postured and made a total fool of herself. Pretend to have certain qualities or state of mind. He acted the idiot. Behave unnaturally or affectedly. She's just acting. Something that people do or cause to happen. A legal document codifying the result of deliberations of a committee or society or legislative body. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. Think before you act. A short performance that is part of a longer program. He did his act 3 times every evening. Perform on a stage or theater. She acts in this play. Have an effect or outcome, often the one desired or expected. How does your idea work in practice? Behave in a certain manner. Show a certain behavior, conduct or comport oneself. You should act like an adult. Play a role or part. She wants to act Lady Macbeth, but she is too young for the role. A manifestation of insincerity. He put on quite an act for her benefit. A subdivision of a play or opera or ballet. Be engaged in an activity, often for no particular purpose other than pleasure. Be suitable for theatrical performance. This scene acts well. Discharge one's duties. She acts as the chair. Give an incentive for action. This moved me to sacrifice my career. Be in a state of action. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. The soldiers moved towards the city in an attempt to take it before night fell. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. Cause to move or shift into a new position or place, both in a concrete and in an abstract sense. The director moved more responsibilities onto his new assistant. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. We must move quickly. The act of changing your residence or place of business. They say that 3 moves equal 1 fire. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Follow a procedure or take a course. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. Progress by being changed. Propose formally, in a debate or parliamentary meeting. Arouse sympathy or compassion in. Her fate moved us all. Change residence, affiliation, or place of employment. We moved from Idaho to Nebraska. Dispose of by selling. The chairman of the company told the salesman to move the computers. Game. A player's turn to take some action permitted by the rules of the game. Go or proceed from one point to another. The debate moved from family values to the economy. Live one's life in a specified environment. She moves in certain circles only. Move so as to change position, perform a non-translational motion. He moved his hand slightly to the right. The act of deciding to do something. He didn't make a move to help.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.